Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about web development roadmap. Web development is one of the most versatile skills in the field of technology. Web development skills can lead to a career as a web developer where you can work as a front-end developer, backend developer, or a full stack developer. It also gives you the flexibility to work as a freelancer. With web development skills, you can create your own websites or web applications, potentially starting your own online business or offering web-based services. Building your portfolio website showcases your skills and projects. Web development skills often enable remote work opportunities, providing flexibility in terms of location and work hours. With the rise of online shopping, e-commerce, web development skills are in high demand. Learning web development can open doors to creating and maintaining e-commerce platforms. You can contribute to open source projects, collaborating with other developers, and enhancing your skills while making a positive impact on the community. Or you can learn it as a hobby. Today we will talk about all the steps involved in learning web development. Before we dive into the steps, we should know how the websites work and what are three major components of web development. Whenever you as a client type in a URL and hit enter, this action sets off a series of events. The browser sends a request to a server, which processes the request and sends back necessary data to display the website on your screen. Now you reach the website homepage. The part of the website with which the user interacts is called Frontend. For example, if you are watching this video, you can interact with it. You can pause it, increase or decrease the volume, comment on it or like it. This part is front end of this website. But while all this is what you can see, there is a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that a user cannot see. For example, this video is stored at YouTube's server. How does it reach your computer or phone? Or when you are shopping online, how does money get deducted from your bank account when your order is processed? All this part is the backend. Apart from front end and backend, there is another thing called database. All this information that you fill in while signing up on any website is stored somewhere on some server. So these are three major components of web development: front-end, back-end, and database. Now let us talk about the roadmap of web development step by step. First step is front-end. To learn front-end, we need to learn three technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You might have already heard about some or all of them. These are quite easy technologies. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is very easy to learn. It describes the basic structure of a website. Like, if we are building a home, first basic structure is made. What needs to be there, how many rooms are there, how many windows and doors and switchboards are there. Similarly, HTML defines the structure of a website, like how many pages are there in a website, what should be there on each page, is there a login form, what buttons, text fields are there on that page. All this is defined by the HTML. Then comes CSS, which is cascading style sheets. Suppose we have the basic structure ready for the house, then we decide what paint color are we using on the walls, the color and the style of switchboards, windows, doors. So in a website, all this styling is done using CSS. CSS defines the color scheme, font style, button style, how a website should look when we open it on a mobile phone. All this is decided by CSS. Next is JavaScript, which is used to add functionality to a website. Like in the house, we need to add functionality to a switchboard. So what happens when you press a certain switch? Does it turn the light on or does it turn the fan off? All this work is done using JavaScript for a website. What happens when you press a sign up or cancel button on a website? All this functionality is added using JavaScript. These are important technologies if we want to learn front end. These basics may take 2 to 3 months where you are just learning how languages work. It might take longer if you're working full-time job while learning. Next, we can learn CSS framework at this point. These make styling easier. A popular framework is Bootstrap, another one is Tailwind. You don't have to learn all the frameworks, just learn one as most of them are similar. If you know one properly, you can easily learn other CSS frameworks whenever needed in your job. Just learn enough to build modern responsive website at this point. After you learn these technologies, you must build projects and have hands-on practice in these technologies before starting to learn anything else. Now, step 2 is to understand and learn version control. You can learn version control at any point, before the backend, after the backend. It's up to you. This can be learned at any time, but I will suggest the earlier you can learn about this, better it is to manage and access your own code and projects. Learn Git and GitHub for version control, understand how to collaborate on projects and manage code repositories. Third step in the roadmap will be building front-end projects. This is truly going to help you learn code. Tutorials are a very small part of the learning process. Most of your learning should be building things. Now, you start with small projects like a calculator or a to-do app, but building a website would be helpful. This will be to learn syntax, apply concepts, and learn control flow statements. More importantly, you will learn problem solving. You will learn how to break a problem into smaller parts, work on each part, and if something doesn't work, then go back and debug and analyze where the problem is. You can build 2 to 3 projects of this type. The next type of project you can also build is a website for yourself, that is your own portfolio. You can start with a single page portfolio and add your resume and other achievements, including the projects that you're making. Another type of project that you can make is clone of one website like Amazon, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. The benefit of building a clone is that you don't have to do the designing part as it is already done by the professionals. It'll save a lot of your time. Try to build 1 to 2 freelance projects. You can build a website for a local business and make an appealing landing page for the business. This is a very good project to showcase your skills to the future employers. You can start building your resume at this point and start applying for the front-end jobs or internships. You learn a lot while you are working in a job. Fourth step is to learn backend. It is not mandatory to learn front-end to learn backend. If you're interested in becoming a backend engineer, you can start from this step onwards. In backend, we have many choices. You can learn one backend programming language. Popular options in this are Python, JavaScript, Ruby, PHP, or Java. If you are learning backend for the first time and have already learned the front end, I would recommend that you learn Node.js, as this is a JavaScript runtime environment and you are already familiar with JavaScript syntax and code. It is quite popular and will be helpful for job applications as well. Django is also a good option. Java is also in demand. PHP was popular earlier, but still is used in some companies, not as many. Now, while learning backend, you also have to learn the databases. Understand relational databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, also called the SQL databases, and non-relational databases such as MongoDB, also called NoSQL databases. In SQL, we store the data in form of tables, NoSQL, we don't use any tables for storing data. If you learn SQL database first, then it will be easier to understand NoSQL databases. Next is to learn how to perform CRUD, which is create, read, update, and delete operations, which includes creating new database entries, fetching and displaying existing data, changing the values of existing data, or removing an entry or record from the database. While learning web development, you will also have to learn about APIs. APIs are application programming interfaces. You'll have to learn how to design and consume APIs. You have to understand RESTful principles. You need to be aware of user authentication and authorization, how to implement secure login systems, and user roles. Being a web developer doesn't mean that we just learn the programming languages and make projects. It is basically problem solving, and we need additional tools and technologies that we should be aware of. These can be learned anytime while learning a programming language. We need to learn basic terminal commands. We need to be aware of a server. A server is like a powerful computer that stores and manages information, responds to requests, and serves as a central hub for communication in a network. We need to be aware of deployment. So when you are building the projects, they will work only on your laptop or computer. How can you show this to other people? Will be through deployment. Deployment is the process of making your web application or software available for others to use. Like, we can all access Google website using the link google.com. Similarly, how can you make a link for your project? Deployment involves putting your code and all its dependencies into a server so that it can run and can be accessed by others, allowing them to interact with the application through interfaces like web browsers or mobile devices using a link or by downloading an app. Next step after learning front-end, back-end, and databases is to make 2 to 3 end-to-end projects. Final step is to apply for a job or internship or freelancing. You can refer to step 3, where I already discussed how important it is to make projects and do some freelancing before you start applying for the jobs, as they are going to showcase that you have web development skills and will help you to get a job. And now you can start learning some frameworks and start adding skills to your portfolio like React.js, Angular, Vue.js. These are the front-end JavaScript frameworks. React.js is actually a library and is quite popular. You can learn TypeScript, which is strict version of JavaScript. You can learn Express.js. This is a minimal and flexible Node.js web application framework. Spring Boot is an extension of the Spring framework that will simplify the development of Java-based applications. This completes our roadmap to a web developer. Hope you have a basic idea of what web development is and how to become a web developer. I wish you great and fun time learning and wish you all the best. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Till next video, take care and happy coding. Bye bye.